Hi, thanks for being here with us on the OHMazing Way podcast. I'm Beth Reese. I'm the creator, host, and producer and studio cleanerer. I do it all here. Anyway, I have the great honor today to be here with Victoria Reese, my niece, and she is a upcoming senior at William and Mary College, and she's sharing with us and Victoria, thank you so much. In the first half, she really leaned into her experiences with feeling a desire to control some things in her life, and the expression of that being through some eating challenges, some body image kind of challenges, and with anxiety. And so thank you for being willing to be so vulnerable and share with people, and also your story about how you have chosen to really be with it and own it and manage it. And so we're going to kick the second half off with Victoria sharing with us one of the ways that she uses breathing to manage her anxiety. So give it to us, Victoria.
Yeah. So if I am feeling a little anxious or some panic coming on, and that usually starts with my chest getting super tight, I feel my heart racing, maybe I'm sweating. Even if I'm with a friend, I'm okay, we got to pause for a second, and I really got to take a deep breath. So the way I do that is I just honestly take a huge belly breath. So I guess we could take a belly breath on 3. So I'll count to 3, and then we'll take a belly breath. And then after I take the belly breath, I sigh it out. And I just, if I have to make some noise, I make some noise, but it works. All right. So I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Big belly breath. Yeah. And sighing it out, I've noticed really makes a difference.
Yeah, it really does. And when we were talking before recording, and you were like, "Well, I kind of do flower power breath." Of course, we laughed.
Yes.
But part of what you're pointing to with, first of all, when you call it a belly breath, and that idea of breathing in so your belly expands, that's actually our natural original way to breathe. If you ever watch a baby breathe, you'll see that the baby's belly goes up, not the chest. So belly breathing is really a way to use, or diaphragmatic breathing, to expand from the belly, and it really helps us breathe in more expansively. So giving us just more air, more oxygen, and then that slow exhale with the and really slowly getting it all out. But that vibration with the sigh is also helps calm our body down. So, what you've shared and what you're doing, it's no wonder it helps you feel better, because physiologically it has lots of seeds there you planted with that one breath. And give us an idea, take us behind the curtain. Where are some places you have found yourself doing, keep it rated PG though, Tori, okay?
Okay, I got it.
Where are some places that you can remember stopping, pausing, and breathing?
Oh, yeah. I remember one time I was getting lunch with one of my friends, in a little dining area at William and Mary, and I think I was just really stimulated by the area around me. And I noticed myself feeling a little off, a little panicky, and I just told my friend, I got to just take a second and breathe. So I did it there. Also, earlier today, I was I'm feeling a little off, and I was just cooking some vegetables, and I took a belly breath there. So, it's really kind of wherever those feelings strike, honestly, anytime, anywhere.
That's right. And and they come on. And as soon as, if we can, which your description, it's so beautiful, because it's you're noticing in the body, the body's going to do what the body does. The mind is going to wander, the body's going to do. And the more we connect with our body and notice the sensations, it's whispering clue, or sometimes not so much whispering, right? Whispering clues to us, hey, I need something.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing's wrong, that the sky isn't falling. There are body sensations, and they need to be nurtured.
Yeah, exactly.
So really, really great. So Victoria, you have taken all of these life experiences and created some interest around fast food and making a difference there in Virginia. So would you share with us a little bit about your research and then what you did with your research in terms of sharing it with the public?
Yeah, I would love to. So I guess, first of all, to preface, the life experiences that my Aunt Beth is talking about are just kind of noticing the need to just live a healthy lifestyle in order to feel your greatest, both mentally and physically, through the experiences I shared in the previous segment. But I'll go into my research. So since my sophomore year at William & Mary, I've been working at the Schroeder Center for Health Policy, which is just like a small little area of William & Mary in the economics public policy department. And under the guidance of my professor, Professor Jennifer Miller, and my research partner, McKinley Saunders, we spent the past, I guess, on and off through the past like year or so, studying the relationship between obesity restaurants or obesity cause obesity restaurants, fast food restaurants, and obesity related hospitalizations in Virginia. So, that research has kind of gone its way throughout time, and our final, question we ended up posing was how does the number of fast food restaurants per capita affect obesity-related hospitalizations in Virginia? So we were really looking, my partner McKinley and I, we're really hoping to identify a causal relationship between fast food restaurants and obesity-related hospitalizations, which can be challenging, especially in social science research. Usually in research, we're looking for correlations or just, the relationship between two variables. But McKinley and I wanted to go and look for a causal relationship. So over time, we were able to identify a very high correlation between fast food restaurants and obesity-related hospitalizations. But then when we tried to control for causation in our model, we found a very small positive, non-significant relation or causal relationship between fast food restaurants and obesity-related hospitalizations. So what that suggests is, from a policy standpoint, and I guess your own individual standpoint, there are so many other factors that go into obesity besides just the number of fast food restaurants available in your locality. So, for example, if there are a ton of fast food restaurants in your town, there are many other factors like sheer demand for the fast food restaurants and other factors that cause the demand, like just a general culture of enjoying fast food, and maybe there's not a ton of wealth in your area. So I guess our research has gone to show that while fast food restaurants are certainly a problem, other factors going on in certain localities play a much larger role in obesity. But yeah.
Wow. And then you guys took this research, these findings, and you took them to a little town near you. What was that?
Yeah. So my partner and I were selected to participate in Posters on the Hill, which is a conference hosted by the Council on Undergraduate Research. And it was in the beginning of May, right during finals week, the perfect time. We were able to meet with some members of Congress and their staff, and then individually, and talk about our findings and possible policy implications, especially in the state of Virginia, to what congressmen and women can do with like fast food districting, like zoning, having, only certain zones in the county that are allowed to have fast food restaurants. But we also just talked about our experience as undergraduate researchers with the congressmen and women. So after we met individually, we went on to a symposium and a research symposium and presented our work to congressmen and women and their staff and other just people interested in undergraduate research. And it was just a really great experience.
Wow. Goodness gracious. That is really fantastic. And thank you for taking that on and the research, your leadership. Any flower power breaths before you presented?
Yes, actually, so many. I remember going on a run that morning and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm already worried about this. And so I actually stopped on my run that morning and just breathed, not only to catch my breath, but just to breathe.
Yeah, and really use that to just like drop back in the moment and be present.
100%.
Well, Victoria, I'm really moved by your bravery to be here and share, like, not just with me, but also with listeners who are teachers and parents and other college students and their kids and their families, like, because I know that there will be someone listening who will identify and hear themselves in your story, and then start to get that that it is okay, and there are tools to lean into and step into the power of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
100%.
So thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for being willing to be that person and, to go to the Hill and share with, policymakers that they too can make a difference. And so, you're so young. You just turned 21.
I did.
And I know that because her brother sent me a picture of her having tequila.
What?
Okay, and then the next morning I send her the song Tequila Sunrise by the Eagles. I know, we're so fun.
I laughed so hard.
I'm so glad. So Victoria, give us, I totally want to have you back like in a few months, a year, and hear what you've been up to and what's next. But can you give us like a little peek behind the curtain about what you anticipate is coming up for you in these next couple years of your life? What's next?
Yeah, I would love to. So I have one more year at William & Mary that I fully intend to enjoy and really immerse myself in with my friends and studies. And then after that, I'm hoping to be in DC, and I would like to work for like maybe a policy think tank or a consulting firm and work in area of either health or environmental policy. For a couple years, and then I think my end plan, and who knows where life will take me, but my end plan is to go back to graduate school and kind of learn more in whatever area that I find really interesting in my time after college.
Beautiful, awesome. Well, we will have you back to hear more and hear how you're changing the world. And until then, I know I'll get to see you in a few weeks.
Yes.
But really, thank you so much for being here. And to those of you listening, in the show notes will be a way how you can reach out and connect to Victoria and to myself. And if you have any questions or comments, be sure to share those with us. And Victoria, thank you. Have a beautiful day. And the listeners out there, thank you so much for being here. And as always, be amazing.
Yes. Thank you.